Fifth house or Prabhava. Radiance for Aries rising. Part 1. Leo in the fifth house brings fixed fire into the domain of creative intelligence. These individuals radiate a strong sense of personal authorship over their ideas, children, and expressions. The mind is centered, proud, and expressive, tied to the heart's need for influence. The native sense of personal power is often derived from how their intellect or creativity impacts others. This leads to a lifelong desire to shine in the roles of teacher, performer, lover, or guide. The sun, as lord of this house, infuses their intelligence with vitality and command. They do not merely learn. They embody, perform, and illuminate what they know. Whether through parenting, speaking, writing, or romance, they must feel that they are at the center of something significant. Their opinions carry weight, and they expect acknowledgement when they express something heartfelt or well thought out. Without this recognition, their inner light flickers with self-doubt, despite outward confidence. Emotional security is strongly linked to pride in their creations, be it children, ideas, or art. These individuals require environments that allow them to express their intellect freely and with dignity. Emotional highs come when they feel admired, while lows arise when their worth is dismissed or overlooked. In romance, they need to be adored. In education, they must be respected. In creativity, they crave admiration. Their emotional core is intertwined with the ability to influence and inspire. Their intelligence thrives in environments that support visibility, leadership, and autonomous thought. They may be drawn to speculative fields, drama, education, or child development, places where their presence feels impactful and their creativity carries consequence. However, they may struggle if forced into passive or subordinate roles where their expression is limited. They shine best where they are both seen and heard, where performance and principle are equally valued. Physiologically, this house connects with the liver, heart, and spine, linking emotional pride and digestive fire. A wounded ego or blocked expression may translate into physical stagnation, liver heat, or stress affecting the central spine. Their radiance is tied to the health of their core, both physical and emotional. Practices that center the solar plexus, such as public speaking, creative performance, or solar exposure, restore both their vitality and their clarity of mind. The early home may have emphasized recognition, performance, or excellence. Childhood may have taught them to equate love with achievement, making them emotionally attached to doing well or being praised. This early shaping gives them an innate desire to guide others and lead by example. As they mature, they begin to shift from performing for others to radiating from within, a deeper and more lasting form of self-validation. At age 5, their natural charisma and desire for attention become visible, often through stories, songs, or classroom leadership. By 17, they seek love or intellectual superiority, aiming to be admired by peers or romantic interests. At 29, they may take on roles where they parent, teach, or mentor, shaping others through their example. By 41, they begin refining their expression, channeling their light in more purposeful, legacy-oriented ways. Professionally, this placement favors teaching, performance arts, speculative trades, child psychology, or education leadership. Their mind seeks stages, classrooms, or platforms where their voice matters and their presence uplifts. They are not meant to follow, but to inspire. Their emotional intelligence glows brightest when they are allowed to lead with heart and speak from the center of their truth. They don't just shine, they light the path for others. Fifth house or Prabhava, the radiance of Aries. When Sun and Mercury conjoin in the fifth house, brilliance and clarity define their creative output. The Sun brings radiant self-expression and innate authority, while Mercury offers articulation, wit, and intellectual dexterity. These natives naturally shine in teaching roles, public speaking, or persuasive storytelling. Their intelligence becomes performative, a source of pride and identity. Their romantic and parental roles often revolve around guiding, explaining, and inspiring. The mind here is confident and vocal, and the native often feels seen when their thoughts are respected. Recognition fuels their creativity, and clarity of purpose brings them joy. Mercury and Venus together create a refined, charming intelligence. Mercury provides verbal finesse, while Venus brings elegance and a sense of aesthetics. This blend is especially potent in creative writing, music, theater, or romantic pursuits. These individuals express love through words, humor, and artistic flair. Their children or students may be treated as delicate creative extensions of their own spirit. Relationships thrive on intellectual affection and playful communication. The need to feel admired and enjoyed intellectually is high, and their brilliance often lies in making the complicated seem light, graceful, and desirable. When Sun and Jupiter conjoin in this house, the mind expands through philosophy, ethics, and leadership. The Sun asserts confidence and integrity. Jupiter magnifies wisdom and vision. This pairing suggests a radiant moral compass, someone who teaches through example and inspires others with noble ideas. They are natural educators, mentors, and spiritual guides to those around them, especially in youth-focused spaces. Romance is idealistic. Parenting becomes a path of transmitting values. Their inner radiance is restored when their ideas serve a higher purpose and when their voice uplifts others toward truth. Jupiter and Mercury together form a blend of broad vision and detailed expression. Jupiter lends optimism, faith, and higher learning. Mercury structures it with clarity and agility. These natives often express their intelligence through storytelling, teaching, and intellectual mentorship. Their brilliance lies in their ability to take abstract or philosophical ideas and make them digestible and meaningful. They thrive in roles where education and communication merge, particularly with children or young minds. Creative pursuits are enriched by narrative depth and moral undertones. They feel most radiant when what they know enlightens others. Sun and Venus in conjunction here bestows creative magnetism and radiant allure. The Sun's vitality mixes with Venus's sensuality and artistic elegance, producing a personality that naturally draws admiration in romantic, artistic, or educational domains. These individuals often express themselves through performance, style, or dramatic storytelling. They love deeply and expect to be loved openly. Parenting or mentoring is affectionate, aesthetic, and dignified. Pleasure and pride walk hand in hand, and their emotional radiance blooms when they feel both adored and respected. Their love affairs are warm, generous, and often the stuff of vivid memory. Moon and Mercury together in this house bring emotional intelligence with communicative grace. The Moon's sensitivity adds intuition. Mercury's presence sharpens thought and verbal expression. These natives often process feelings through conversation, and their romantic or educational bonds are built on emotional articulation. With children, they are nurturing, yet intellectually engaging. With lovers, they seek emotional closeness expressed through thoughtful gestures and honest dialogue. Their creative process is deeply personal, drawing from inner moods and memories. Their emotional radiance is felt most when their private feelings are allowed a creative, spoken voice. Moon and Jupiter in conjunction creates emotional nobility and moral generosity. The Moon provides receptivity and care. Jupiter bestows a sense of moral purpose and belief. These individuals bring warmth, trust, and spiritual insight into their romantic and creative lives. They may raise children with a deep sense of ethical grounding or guide young minds toward wisdom through compassion. Love for them is expansive, kind, and infused with belief in the good. They feel emotionally fulfilled when they can nurture while uplifting, love while teaching, and create while offering a higher message. Venus and Jupiter together in the 5th house make for joyful, elegant intelligence and romantic grandeur. Venus softens, beautifies, and harmonizes. Jupiter expands, uplifts, and blesses. These natives often bring grace and abundance into every space they enter, particularly in romantic, artistic, or pedagogical roles. They naturally attract love, admiration, and students who seek both beauty and wisdom. Their creations are luxurious yet meaningful, blending refinement with generosity. Their radiance flows from hearts that love freely, teach beautifully, and celebrate both spirit and sensation in equal measure. 5th house or Prabhava, Radiance for Leo Rising, Part 1. Sagittarius in the 5th house brings expansive vision, adventurous creativity, and philosophical romance into the realm of intelligence and joy. Leo, ruled by the Sun, seeks recognition, expression, and creative authority, while Sagittarius, ruled by Jupiter, adds a spirit of exploration, learning, and high-minded purpose to the native's sense of radiance. This pairing produces an individual whose creativity is inspired by ideals, whose intelligence is flavored with optimism and moral vision, and whose joy is awakened through discovery and meaning. This house activates at ages 5, 17, 29, 41, 53, 65, and 77. With Sagittarius here, the mind becomes expressive, curious, and forward-looking. These natives learn best through inspiration rather than instruction. Their intelligence is intuitive and philosophical. They often bypass detail in favor of principle. There is a natural love for teaching, guiding, or storytelling, and they may find their voice through travel, spiritual study, or adventure. They bring a mentor's perspective to their children or creative pursuits, seeking to uplift, not just entertain. Their radiance shines through wisdom, and their joy expands when their ideas reach others in meaningful ways. Jupiter, as the ruler of this house, grants benevolence, moral structure, and expansive creative purpose. These individuals often feel a strong ethical pull in how they love, teach, or express themselves. Their romantic and artistic nature is idealistic, drawn to people and projects that reflect their beliefs or broaden their horizons. Parenting may be seen as a sacred responsibility, where they pass on values as much as knowledge. Their creativity often carries a message, an invitation to grow, question, and aim higher. Emotionally, their joy is tied to inspiration and growth. They are most alive when learning, exploring, or teaching something that matters. Routine or shallow relationships feel stifling. Their romantic life is often imbued with a sense of quest. Partners must inspire, challenge, or share in their vision of what life could be. They are not content with simply being adored. They need to see that love evolves. Joy becomes stale without movement or meaning, and they may unconsciously seek change just to reignite purpose. Physiologically, Sagittarius in the 5th house links joy and creativity to the liver, hips, thighs, and sacral region. Overextension in emotional or creative areas can affect vitality and optimism. These natives benefit from practices that combine philosophy with movement, walking meditations, travel journals, or physical rituals that anchor ideas into the body. Joy returns when the spirit is unbound, when laughter, movement, and meaning flow together. They need both a moral compass and open skies to feel radiant. In early learning or romantic experiences, they may have gravitated toward teachers, belief systems, or books that open mental doors. They may also have been praised for their potential, leading them to equate creativity with fulfilling a larger mission. As adults, they often feel most alive when their joy uplifts others. They do not express creativity just to be seen, but to ignite vision. Their radiance is not only personal, it seeks to illuminate broader truths. At age 5, they may exhibit restlessness or ask big questions, challenging adults with moral curiosity. By 17, romantic ideals take shape, often leading them toward inspirational figures or ideas that shape their worldview. At 29, they begin applying these insights through teaching, parenting, or creative roles. By 41, they understand that their joy is not in completion, but in the journey, the living expression of values through play, love, and purpose. This placement supports careers in teaching, philosophy, publishing, spiritual counseling, or performance rooted in message and meaning. Whether they are guiding students, writing vision-driven stories, or raising children with clarity and courage, their joy is always magnified by purpose. Their brilliance lies not in decoration, but in direction, not in applause, but in awakening. They shine brightest when they are pointing toward the horizon and bringing others along with them. 5th house or Prabhava, the radiance of Leo rising, part. When Jupiter and Sun conjoin in the 5th house, noble intelligence and radiant purpose come together in a brilliant dharmic alignment. Jupiter brings ethical insight, faith, and expansive joy. The Sun contributes confidence, creative pride, and leadership. This powerful combination often results in a Dharma Adipati Yoga, when Jupiter rules the 5th and Sun the 1st, blessing the native with principled self-expression, success in teaching or performing roles, and the ability to inspire others through truth. In its higher form, this yoga produces wise mentors, creative guides, or righteous leaders. If afflicted, however, it can tilt into moral superiority or egotistical self-righteousness, where belief and pride override listening. When Jupiter and Mercury unite here, Sagittarian expansiveness meets Gemini-like wit. Jupiter grants the breadth of vision, Mercury gives verbal agility and precision. These natives often become natural teachers, writers, or philosophers, excelling in education, publishing, or performance where intelligent messaging is key. The yoga favors brilliance in language, humor with meaning, and storytelling with a purpose. However, if this pairing is imbalanced, it may produce contradiction between idealism and facts, or scattered energy where ideas are inspiring but poorly executed. Sun and Mercury in conjunction sharpen the intellect with clarity, presence, and persuasive eloquence. The Sun fuels a strong sense of self and vision. Mercury helps articulate it with logic and grace. This pairing is excellent for public speaking, education, and creative leadership. Children, if present, may be guided with reason and structure. When positively placed, this yoga strengthens clarity of purpose and creative authority. If afflicted, it may result in overtalking, intellectual arrogance, or a tendency to dominate conversations, especially in love or parenting dynamics. Sun and Venus together produce a radiant romantic magnetism. The Sun provides creative authority and dignity. Venus adds refinement, charm, and beauty. This pairing creates a connoisseur of love and art, someone who shines in performance, decorum, or aesthetic storytelling. Their joy lies in mutual admiration and visible affection. If well placed, this yoga results in charismatic lovers, stylish creators, or devoted mentors. When afflicted, it can turn into vanity, possessiveness in love, or seeking admiration without emotional depth. Jupiter and Venus in the 5th house bring together spiritual joy and refined love. Jupiter expands ethical devotion, and Venus softens with sweetness, charm, and harmony. Their romantic and creative life becomes a channel for idealism, often expressing love through music, dance, or spiritual aesthetics. This yoga enhances love for learning, children, and wisdom-rich storytelling. However, excess can create indulgence and pleasure without grounded commitment, or a romanticism that detaches from real-world limits. Moon and Jupiter in conjunction form the auspicious Gajakasara Yoga, imbuing the mind with emotional generosity and wisdom. The Moon lends empathy and receptivity. Jupiter offers moral clarity and expansion. These natives are emotionally intelligent mentors who create or parent with softness and optimism. They often express love in nurturing, philosophical, or spiritually guided ways. If afflicted, however, emotional idealism can lead to naivety in romance, over-trusting children, or over-promising in creative pursuits. Moon and Mercury together blend emotion with articulation. The Moon provides intuitive flow. Mercury structures it into words. This yoga supports expressive writing, emotionally intelligent speech, and attuned teaching. These individuals often bond with children and lovers through thoughtful conversations. If afflicted, however, emotional logic may become circular overthinking, and creative flow may be blocked by analysis. Sun and Ketu, conjoined in the 5th, can produce radiant spiritual detachment. The Sun gives clarity of self, Ketu strips away egoic attachments. This yoga often births spiritual artists, metaphysical teachers, or solitary visionaries whose creativity serves a higher mission. They may feel destined to guide others through detached wisdom rather than emotional closeness. When afflicted, this yoga may manifest as difficulty in sustaining romantic joy, absentee parental presence, or a creativity that burns bright but isolates. When integrated, it grants rare brilliance, an inner light rooted not in applause, but in truth. 5th house or Prabhava, Radiance for Sagittarius rising, part 1. Aries in the 5th house brings dynamism, boldness, and unfiltered passion into the realm of creative intelligence. Sagittarius, ruled by Jupiter, is expansive, idealistic, and future-driven, while Aries, ruled by Mars, introduces speed, initiative, and a fiery hunger for experience into the native's approach to joy, love, learning, and expression. This combination produces a native who seeks radiant self-expression through action, risk-taking, and fierce individuality. Their intelligence is active and courageous, their creativity instinctive, and their joy found in spontaneity, competition, and unrestrained exploration. This house activates at ages 5, 17, 29, 41, 53, 65, and 77. Aries here adds a warrior's instinct to the playful and artistic sphere of life. These individuals learn through experience, not theory. Their intelligence is driven more by action than contemplation. They are experimental, instinctual, and brave in trying new ideas. Creativity is not slow or methodical, but raw, direct, and energetic. They are drawn to physical forms of self-expression, sports, dance, acting, or anything that lets the body speak alongside the mind. Their play is intense, their romance fast-burning, and their creative process sparked by competition, challenge, or urgency. Mars, ruling this house, sharpens the willpower and channels the native's joy through assertion and conquest. These individuals express love with directness, often initiating romantic connections or creative projects without hesitation. Parenting style may be protective, assertive, or based on training the child to be independent and strong-willed. Their mind shines when they are leading, building, or competing, especially in environments that reward confidence and decisiveness. They prefer to blaze trails, not follow scripts. Emotionally, joy is tied to movement and momentum. They struggle with stillness or passivity in romance or creative blocks. Emotional frustration often stems from suppression. When they cannot act on their instincts or express their ideas with immediacy, there is a deep need to feel alive in love, education, and artistic flow. If boredom or delay enters the scene, they tend to retreat, explode, or redirect their energy elsewhere. Inner peace comes not from quiet, but from forward motion with purpose. Physiologically, Aries in the 5th house links creativity and emotional response to the muscles, blood flow, and adrenal system. Their brilliance surges when the body is active and the mind engaged in pursuit. Stagnation leads to irritation. High energy output stabilizes their emotional field. Physical expression, whether through performance, athletics, or bold ideation, is a vital release valve. Practices that combine movement with strategy, like martial arts, competitive games, or even improvisational theater, help them reconnect with their radiance. In early learning and romance, they tend to act first and reflect later. Their childhood creativity may have been bold but unrefined, praised for energy but misunderstood for its lack of polish. As adults, they refine their fire into mastery. They learn that raw power, when directed through focus and values, becomes radiant leadership. Their intelligence is not soft-spoken, it moves with impact. Their love is not slow, it arrives with heat and transforms all it touches. At age 5, they exhibit physical boldness and creative restlessness. By 17, they seek lovers, teachers, or friends who match their pace and passion. At 29, they often step into leadership roles, either as bold parents, coaches, or creators, unafraid of trial and error. By 41, they integrate their courage with wisdom, learning that joy can be both fast and focused, driven not by impulse alone, but by clarity and creative purpose. This placement supports careers in athletics, performing arts, education through action, like military or adventure training, or entrepreneurship in creative industries. They shine when they initiate, lead, and fight for their vision. Their brilliance lies in the spark that moves things forward, the kind of radiance that doesn't wait to be invited, but lights the fire and dares others to follow. 5th house or Prabhava, the radiance of Sagittarius rising, part 2. When Mars and Sun conjoin in the 5th house, a commanding force of will and fiery confidence defines the native's creative and romantic expression. Mars supplies action, assertion, and fearless initiative. The Sun adds self-assurance, presence, and leadership. Together, they form a potent Rajasic yoga of authority and creative power. These individuals excel in performance, athletics, leadership in education, or competitive arts. Their children may be driven and proud, or they may project high expectations upon them. If well placed, this yoga produces radiant creators and romantic initiators. If afflicted, it can lead to ego clashes in love, overbearing parenting, or impulsive decisions in speculative ventures. Mars and Mercury together create a yoga of strategic intellect and agile expression. Mars brings focus and drive. Mercury lends verbal precision and cleverness. This conjunction supports brilliant debate, technical creativity, and spontaneous problem-solving. These natives often shine in dynamic communication roles, acting, coaching, or entrepreneurial teaching. When well aspected, this yoga enables fast thinking and persuasive articulation. If afflicted, it can result in verbal aggression, reckless speech in love affairs, or a tendency to argue with children or romantic partners. Mars and Jupiter in conjunction in Aries forms a powerful Dharma Karma Adipati yoga, Mars ruling the 5th and Jupiter the 1st. This bestows purposeful action, creative alignment with higher values, and the capacity to lead through vision. These individuals may become bold educators, athletic mentors, or dynamic philosophical influencers. Their romance and parenting styles are guided by principle, but not without fire. If well placed, they inspire devotion and ambition in those they guide. When afflicted, they may become dogmatic, competitive in love, or rigid in parenting beliefs. Sun and Jupiter together ignite radiant wisdom and creative righteousness. The Sun provides visibility and clarity. Jupiter adds expansion, faith, and moral compass. These individuals may become spiritual teachers, respected artists, or socially visible leaders with a message. In romantic life, they seek partners who share their vision or purpose. Their children may be raised with an emphasis on truth, learning, and courage. When afflicted, this yoga may bring excessive pride in one's beliefs, moral posturing in love, or disappointment when romantic ideals are unmet. Sun and Mercury conjoined produce a yoga for sharp, self-directed expression. The Sun affirms identity. Mercury crafts thought and articulation. This combination benefits public speaking, dramatic arts, educational leadership, and creative storytelling. These natives are likely to guide or mentor others through ideas. When well placed, this yoga fosters strong communicators and confident thinkers. If afflicted, it may result in overtalking, an inability to accept feedback in love or parenting, or a tendency to preach rather than connect. Mars and Venus together here create a passionate, expressive romantic nature and bold aesthetic creativity. Mars ignites desire. Venus beautifies and harmonizes. This yoga supports dynamic artists, dancers, fashion-forward personalities, or adventurous lovers. Their love life is physically vibrant, but may suffer from intensity or lack of emotional grounding. If benefic, it creates charisma and bold romantic joy. If afflicted, it may bring love triangles, possessiveness, or burnout from emotionally driven creative surges. Moon and Mars in conjunction brings emotional courage and instinctive creativity. The Moon offers feeling, Mars adds direction. These natives act on emotion, love with passion, and create through intuitive fire. They may be natural performers, emotionally expressive parents, or protectors of youthful energy. If well placed, this yoga supports emotional leadership. If afflicted, it can produce impulsivity in romance, mood-driven decision-making, or conflicts with children stemming from emotional dominance. Moon and Jupiter together form Gaja Kesari Yoga, enhancing nurturing intelligence and emotionally uplifting expression. These natives love generously, parent with wisdom, and create with warmth. Romance is devotional and expressive. They thrive when their feelings align with purpose. If afflicted, however, it can result in emotional overextension, savior complexes in love, or excessive expectations placed on children as extensions of their idealism. Venus and Jupiter in conjunction enhances graceful radiance and joyful generosity. Venus brings aesthetic charm. Jupiter expands through values and benevolence. These individuals may be highly expressive in the performing arts, teaching through beauty, or loving through meaningful gestures. Their romantic life seeks ideal connection and grandeur. If afflicted, this yoga may cause idealism that borders on fantasy, indulgence in speculative risks, or disappointment when joy is not reciprocated. For Sagittarius risings, Aries in the 5th crafts yogas that radiate leadership, bold creativity, and passionate intelligence. The challenge lies in learning to pace their fire, channeling instinct into intention. When their action is rooted in Dharma, their radiance becomes stoppable. When misdirected by ego, haste, or unmet validation needs, the same fire can scorch joy. Their brilliance thrives when action becomes inspired, and when love is pursued not just with speed, but with courage and clarity.